Hello, friends. So nice to see you today. I'm Mrs. Urbach, and this is Charlie, and we're glad you've joined us. We have a special letter of the day today for you, and a fun book by an author I'm sure you're familiar with, as well as a couple of fun songs. Let's get started. Before we talk about our letter of the day, look at the quilt behind me. Look at those pictures in the quilt. Do they look like something to you? That quilt is a bit of an optical illusion, which means that your eyes can kind of play tricks on you when you look at it. But I'm going to tell you that quilt is called toy boxes. Can you see boxes in that quilt? And because of the fun colors, don't those boxes look like they would have fun toys inside? That's why it's called toy boxes. Toy boxes you could get that have a little crank, and you turn the crank and the box plays music, and you never know when the box is gonna pop open and a doll will come out. And it always startles me a little bit, but they're fun. Well, think of that first word in the quilt, toy. Toy. Do you hear the sound at the beginning of that word, toy? That sound is made by our letter of the day. I'm going to write it, and if you know what letter's at the beginning of the word toy, go ahead and say it out loud. Did you say the letter T? Toy starts with T. This is a big T. Let's draw a little t. And T makes the sound T. Can you say T? Good job. Now, how would you make a T with your body? If you have room to stick your arms out and stand up straight, it's easy to make a T, isn't it? Now, while you make a T with your body, say the sound it makes. T. Well done. Let's put our T up on the Toy Boxes quilt. It's time for I Spy. This is the I Spy quilt, and I spy with my little eye something that you eat that begins with the letter T. Did you spot the tomatoes? Tomatoes begins with T. Here's a fun one. I spy with my little eye something with wheels that begins with the letter T. Did you spot the tractor? Tractor begins with T. I spy with my little eye something that grows tall that begins with T. Did you spot the trees? Trees begins with T. And I spy with my little eye something that you might find in the kitchen or the china cabinet that begins with T. Did you spot the teapot? Teapot begins with T. Good job. Let's sing our ABCs. And when we get to T, we can just stick our arms out straight to make ourselves into a T while we sing it. All right, let's begin. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Thank you for singing with me. Well, I have a fun book for us today by someone I'm sure you've heard of. Have you heard of Dr. Seuss? Dr. Seuss writes really fun books. You probably read some of them, like maybe The Cat in the Hat, or The Lorax, or Fox in Socks. Well, today's Dr. Seuss book is Oh, the Thinks You Can Think. And I chose this book not only because it's really fun, but the word think has a T at the beginning. It doesn't make the sound we just learned, T, because it's combined with another letter, H. And when T is with H, they work together to say th. So that's why This word is pronounced thinks. Without the H, it would be tinks. Oh, the Things You Can Think by Dr. Seuss, published by Random House. You can think up some birds. That's what you can do. You can think about yellow or think about blue. You can think about red. You can think about pink. You can think up a horse. Oh, the things you can think. Doesn't he look like he's trotting through a forest of candy canes? That would be fun. Oh, the things you can think up if only you try. If you try, you can think up a guff going by. And you don't have to stop. You can think about schlop. Schlop, schlop, beautiful schlop. Beautiful schlop with a cherry on top. Look at this picture of schlop. When do you think you would eat schlop? Is that something you would eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert? I think I agree with you. You can think about gloves. You can think about snubs. You can think a long time about snubs and their gloves. Let's take a moment and think about snubs and their gloves. You can think about Kitty O'Sullivan Krause in her big balloon swimming pool over her house. Would you swim in a swimming pool that was just floating in the air like that? I guess it's tied on so it wouldn't float away. If you would swim in that pool, you're braver than I am. Think of black water. Think up a white sky. Think up a boat. Think of blues blowing by. You can think about night, a night in Nanup. The birds are asleep and the 3 moons are up. Let's count the 3 moons. 1, 2, 3. How many moons do we have on Earth? 1. So, I wonder what planet they're on. You can think about day, a day in Dodake. The water is blue and the birds are awake. Think and wonder and think. How much water can 55 elephants drink? A lot. You can wonder, how long is the tail of a zong? Find the zong in this picture. Now, do you see his backside? Follow his tail all the way through with your eyes till you get to the end of it. Did you do it? That's a long tail, isn't it? There are so many thinks that a thinker can think. Would you dare yank a tooth of the rink-rinker fink? He's daring, isn't he? Would you dare? And what would you do if you met a jaboo? This must be you. This must be the jaboo. Everyone's in shadow because it looks like maybe it's nighttime. I see a moon, but he's waving. As far as I can tell, he looks friendly. Oh, the thinks you can think. Think of Peter the postman who crosses the ice once every day and on Saturdays twice. Look at that poor postman. He's got so much mail. Where's he going with the mail? Can you find where he's taking the mail? Yes, you're right. Way up there. He's got to get through all these walruses first. Think. You can think any think that you wish. Think a race on a horse on a ball with a fish. Think of light. Think of bright. Think of stairs in the night. Think a ship. Think up a long trip. Go visit the Vipper of Vip. Have you ever been to Vip before? I haven't either, but apparently this is the guy in charge. And left. Think of left. And think about Beft. Why is it that Beft always go to the left? I don't know. And why is it so many things go to the right? You can think about that until Saturday night. Think left and think right, and think low and think high. Oh, the things you can think up, if only you try. It's fun to think up new things, isn't it? Just to sit and wonder and ask questions, because that leads to thinking up new things. Think of all the new things you have already thought up in your life. You probably couldn't even count them all. There are so many. And as you grow up, you're going to think of so many more things. It's kind of exciting to think about. You'll have to send me an email once in a while and let me know the kind of things you think up, because that'll be exciting. I know you're going to think up a lot of wonderful things in your lifetime. I can't wait to hear about them. Our first song ties into one of the pictures that we saw in the I Spy quilt. Do you remember the things we saw in the I Spy quilt? What was the thing that we saw that was something you could eat? Tomatoes, good. What was something we saw that had wheels on it? A tractor, right. How about the thing that grew outside and then grew really tall? Trees. And what was the last thing that we could find in the kitchen or the china cabinet? A teapot. Well, this song is about a teapot, and it's called I'm a Little Teapot. So in the song, of course, we have to pretend to be a teapot. So here's how it goes. Follow along and you can do the movements with me. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. It's always fun to have songs that have movement to them, isn't it? This next song is a fun, happy song to sing called Top of the World. And top of the world is something you might say if you're feeling really happy and excited. And someone says, how are you feeling today? And you could say, I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world, like nothing could stop you. Do you hear the t in the word top? Good. Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eye, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. From the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I've found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. I like to sing about being happy, and I'm very happy with you as my friend. Well, I sure have had fun with you today, friend. And as you go about your day, listen to those words that begin with the sound t. Maybe you'll have a tomato with dinner, or maybe you could have a tomato tomorrow. I hope you don't stub your toe or bite your tongue. We'll hope for happy things. Well, let's give ourselves some love before we go. Hold out one arm, and wrap it around your body, and hold out the other one and wrap it around the other way, and give yourself a great big hug, because you are special and you are loved. Bye-bye.